Well, this is about all my drawing table is good for these days, lately anyway. Right, Frida? Hi. I am going to do a short little video here on more detailed explanation of my registration process and the registration tabs. Before I get into that, I would like to ask everyone who watches this to go down to the bottom and hit subscribe. I have 21 subscribers and I need 100 to reach that benchmark where I get a benefit at YouTube and more options on my channel there. So just hit the subscribe. It doesn't do anything except adds my channel over to the left of your, when you open up YouTube, it has all your subscriptions, and you click on that one when you get there, and it shows you the latest. And you probably get some sort of notification that there's a new YouTube video if you're subscribed to mine or any others. So do me a favor and hit subscribe, and if you feel so inclined, you can also share at other places on the internet, Facebook, wherever there might be an interest in my art things. Now, whenever you start to do a multi-color or multi-value silkscreen, a silkscreen is only a stencil. It's a stencil that's made onto this mesh fabric that when you squeegee the ink through the fabric, it pushes it down onto the paper. And if you block out certain areas in squeegee, it makes that whatever is left of the fabric that's open weave, the ink is pushed down to print onto the paper. So in the process of making my screens, it's a photographic process, and I take a photograph and I'll do various value separations using the tools in Photoshop. This was the Flaming Ford image that I had taken many years ago, and I redid the silk screen here a while back. This is like the lightest one. This is just the same image. There's one, two, 3, and 4. They get progressively darker. The values get progressively darker as it goes down through the 4. I only pick 4 because it gets very complicated after past 4. But each one of these values will be represented in the final print by a separate color. This was the finished print. The first value that I showed you, the transparency, was the lightest color on here, which is probably this bright orange. Then the next color was this darker orange, reddish color, and then the one after that was a darker red, and the last one was the almost black, deep dark red. So there's 4 values, and when you print them one on top of the other, each one of these is on a separate screen, and the screens, when you print the screens, you print one screen on all of your edition. Like I have 20 prints in my edition. So you would print the first screen with the first color onto all 20 prints. And it's important that you get that first color on all 20 pieces of paper in exactly the same position. And so to do that, you set up your registration tabs on the edges so that when you lay the paper down, you position them in the same place each time. You raise the print up, put your paper in, pull the screen down, and print. Pull the screen up, take that piece of paper out, hang it up, put another piece of paper in, position it in the tabs, pull your screen down, and print. And you do that over and over for 20 times, and that assures you that by using the registration tabs that all 20 of those pieces of paper have been printed exactly the same spot by that one screen. Then after that print dries, that run, you do it over again 3 more times. The second time, the second color, you have to reposition. You get your first screen under there, you get your first piece of paper under there, and you bring your screen down without any ink on it, and you look through the screen, and you very carefully position the paper, the one print underneath, so that it's in the right place, visually looking through the screen and getting it exact. And then you very carefully raise the screen, and keeping that paper in the same spot, you put your registration tabs on the edges of the paper. It's going to be different from the first one because the second screen is in a slightly different place on the screen, the second image. So, and you keep doing that over and over, and until you get through the fourth color. I've got this little video with a close-up of the tabs, explaining the tabs and the evolution of my personal use of the tabs over the years, and what I have finally come up with for the next run to see if that works. Well, as I said, the critical part in printing a screen print with multiple screens, multiple colors, is registration, because you want all of these screens like this. There's 4 of them with different values on each screen. You want them to print in the same place. Now the first printing, or the first color, you just have to make sure all of the papers are in exactly the same place. And the way I do that is with registration tabs. Here lately I've got, I haven't tried them yet, but I'm hoping they're going to work. This latest rendition of my registration tabs are the slide, the old, if you remember the slides you put in this slide projector, and it focuses the slide up on the wall. These are the little slide frames that the slides went in. They're plastic, and they're thick enough that they're just what I wanted. I've got 3 of them, 1, 2, 3, 2 on the bottom, 1 on the side. Now, right in front of the plastic, it's about a 1/16 of an inch thick. I also have this little piece of drawing paper, which is about 80 pound. It has some thickness to it. So what it does is when I fit that up against the slide mount on all of these, it takes away the probability that this paper, when I put it down, is going to slide up under that plastic piece. So what happens is this piece of paper comes up a little bit, so that when this piece of paper meets the slide mount, it meets it like square on. There's not any little space under it for it to stick up under there and distort my registration on all 3. So that's why I have this additional little piece of paper in front of the slide mount. And this, the paper would be positioned in the 2 bottom ones, and then over to the one on the left. And then I would print. And then I would take this one out, put another one in. Years ago, I started using this plastic like file cabinet folder tabs. It goes at the top of file folders to tell you what's in that file. So I would cut off this section here, or one side of it, because this is kind of bent, and I wanted this to be flatter. So I'd cut off this section, and then I would position this piece where the paper would fit over inside of here like that as my tabs. And that worked fairly well, but it had a problem in positioning this easily when I was busy in the heat of battle, as it were, and it didn't work out. It just wasn't as smooth, and also the back end of it here is kind of rounded, so there's a little bit, there's space for error when the paper gets in there at different places. And then I kind of gave up on that, and I went to just plain paper registration tabs, and it's just a piece of paper, drawing paper, which is maybe a little thicker than this, but I would fold it over, and to create my tab, I would put it under the paper like that, and once I figured out exactly where the paper was supposed to be, I would hold this down, maybe with a little piece of tape on that or with my hand, and then I move this, and then I would tape down this part here so that when I folded this back over, I had this pocket here to slide my paper in to hold it like that. And there again, that worked pretty good, except when I was getting real busy, this paper is kind of weak, and when I would kept putting the printing papers in there, it was kind of deforming these. It would kind of get messed up. So I'm hoping this latest iteration here is gonna work for me, and we'll see how it goes. Probably this week I'll be printing that Highway 21 print again on this paper here, which is not quite as thick as the first run, which I messed up. Remember, I only got 2 out of that one. So there you have it. All you ever wanted to know about registration in silkscreen printing.